Hello everybody, I hope you're doing well. I am Vero Grazia and this is my YouTube channel where recently I've been posting knitting videos. This video today is a project vlog on this sweater currently that I am wearing. It is the Dugg sweater by Skappel. There will be a full show trial at the end of this video so you can see the entire process of this video. Just to start, this sweater was a Christmas present to me. And I had been wanting one of the Skappel sweaters for so long, but I never could just pull the plug and do it myself. So this was a really awesome gift that I got. And I got it in size small, so if you are planning to knit this in size small, then this video is for you. But also, I think this video is great to watch for anyone looking to knit this sweater or any other Skappel sweaters because I just think I learned some valuable things throughout this process. So anyways, I hope you enjoy with this winter wonderland to start my journey.
It is a winter wonderland.
And of all I should have done.
Look, why is she trying to catch the snow? Look how snowy you are.
Already?
Having a cozy winter break day in. Should do some knitting today on my Skappel, my Skappel sweater. So the first thing I want to talk about is the body portion. Starting off, there were some things in the pattern that were just wrong. In the directions it said to repeat through the red lines, and I'm pretty sure when I was knitting it was not the red lines, it was the blue lines, because the red lines, if you repeated through that, the pattern would not match up. Something interesting to note is that the side of the sweater, there is a seam. So it's not exactly a seam as much as it is something that you knit in there, because the front and the back are knit the same way, but the pattern does not connect all the way around, which I thought was interesting. It made it look machine made almost to not have that matchup, because I feel like when you're knitting and creating your own pieces of clothing, you can do it in such a way that it will match up. So I just thought that was interesting and kind of confusing for me. I didn't really expect it, but just something to note. So then the next issue I faced was when I was knitting. It said to knit the entire chart and then knit up to another certain point depending on the size in the chart. And then once you had done that, the body for me for a size small was supposed to measure 32 centimeters. It maybe measured like 26 or something like that. My gauge was fine, so I didn't understand what it was that was happening, but I figured that it would block out and grow when I blocked it. So then I started on the sleeves, and one thing immediately that I knew for sure was wrong was it said to start with the main color. And if you look at any of the Dugg sweaters, the cuff starts with the contrast color, like the second contrast color. And so immediately I knew that was wrong, and I just followed along with what I knew and kind of improvised, because that's the pattern that I bought, but it would not be the pattern that I wanted if I had knit it like that. You know what I'm saying? And so that was a big mistake just immediately, and it really made me wonder if there were any test knitters for any of the Skappel sweaters, or if there just was some weird translation between Norwegian and English. Another thing is the pattern asked for 40 centimeters circular needles, and I don't know if I just am like not aware of those kind of things, but I feel like by saying this many centimeters, then your work will fit on these many centimeters. That was far from the case though. I used magic loop for the entire sleeve, and I think because of that the tension was a bit off, especially like where the loop was. And you can see that further on in this video where there was like a kind of like a crimp in the sleeve. I think if I remake this sweater, then I would do it with mini circular needles, just because I feel like that would be a lot smoother, especially for multiple stranded color work. So I've gotten to a point where I've finished both of the sleeves, but I'm gonna go back and undo the bind off that I did for the body, because I made an executive decision when what was supposed to be adding up to a certain amount of centimeters was not, and I figured that I have enough yarn for those centimeters, so I should be able to knit for a medium. I've knit the lengths for the medium, not the width, but for the arms it's the same either way. And so I have to go back and undo the bind off that I did for the body and then add the rows that I need for the body. So that's my goal for tonight. We'll see. Looking at it like this makes me feel a little bit better because this will all be at the same level. But hopefully like it'll be a little bit more like that. And so, oh, Giselle, no. And so now it's just about adding a little bit more length there to then it be a bigger sweater, I guess. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to rip back to these layers right here and just redo those.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my high.
So as you can see, I decided to knit the lengths for size mediums. And I was worried how that was going to be because I didn't know if like up here the patterns matched up and there needed to be the width of the medium for it to actually look the way that I wanted it to. But I did some looking ahead, I did some hard thinking, and I decided that that was not the case. I knit for the length of the mediums for both of the arms and the body because it asks for you to stop on the same row for all three of the different parts, which makes sense because then as you go up, when you go around, you're doing one line of the pattern and then the next line of the pattern. It was getting to a point where it was just going round and round, and I've never done a bottom-up construction with doing the body and then the sleeve separately and then connecting them all, but it was interesting, and I feel like at that point where you have already knit a lot, you start to lose motivation because it's just like a lot of knitting, whether it's sleeve island or the rest of the body. But for this, doing the yoke portion, it only gets smaller and smaller, so it gets faster and faster, which is kind of nice. That it's getting faster as the motivation is getting slower or decreasing, I guess.
Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky is falling down, yeah.
January 15th, I was feeling odd. I had finished the yoke and I was doing the neckline, and I was starting to almost lose hope a little bit because I tried it on a few times and it just felt really small, and so I was wondering if it's even going to turn out. I posted a few stories and I was motivated to finish it that night. That's why you can see I was up till 2 a.m. knitting. I did not finish it that night, but I finished it the next day and I blocked it. So for the blocking process, I really wanted to document it, just if anyone else is doing this and is really relying on the block. First, I got the water to around like 90 degrees Fahrenheit with some wool wash. And then because the most important part about blocking is letting it soak, I'm pretty sure I let the sweater soak for an hour.
Smells like wet lamb.
And so I let it soak for an hour and then I blocked it. I tried to stretch it out as best as I could, and I think I did a pretty good job, but then my boyfriend did one of the arms while I did the other, and I didn't think he was going to do it as well as me, but he actually did it better than me, so I had him redo my arm. And everyone was telling me not to block it because I blocked it like midday, the day before I was leaving in the morning to come back to college. I did not listen to anybody because I am a little bit stubborn, and I also was so anxious to see how the sweater would turn out. I just had to do it. I blocked it and it dried. It dried in time, and I was gonna wear it on my drive, but I didn't want to like be distracted by any issues that I saw with it. Good morning. I'm back at school, and it's the next day since I got back. I have some coffee and my sweater. This is the back side of it. I just have to move in my hands, and that's what I'm gonna do right now after I feed my puppy. So as I was moving in the ends and I had it turned inside out, I realized that there was like a pucker in the middle of the sleeve, and I think that's where the magic loop was. And so I spot blocked it to hopefully block out that little pucker, and it did. It did pretty well blocking out that pucker. I actually haven't looked at it since it was pretty much almost dry, but I'm pretty sure it has blocked out. So this is what I ended up doing. Like, you can't see the pucker anymore because it is stretched out. I just hope what I intend to happen will actually happen. And I won't just pick it up again and the pucker will come back, but let's see when it's done. It's got a fan blowing on it and the sun shining right through here, so hopefully it'll be good. Now you have watched the entire video, and here is the final reveal of how the sweater looks. I posted a blocking transformation, and I don't know if you can tell how well it blocked out, but I still did that nonetheless if you want to follow my Instagram at knittingfaye on Instagram. But I honestly am happy with it. I think I was very nervous going into it, and I didn't think it was going to turn out well, but I kind of stepped back and to think about it, and this knit kit on Skappel was 89 euros, I want to say, something along the lines of that. And majority of the knit kits, they look to be like oversized sweaters, and they're much more expensive. I think a little bit I was expecting this to look like the other Skappel sweaters with the oversized look, but I realized that it does require less yarn because I think it is supposed to be a smaller sweater. And so I'm kind of just realizing this is a smaller sweater and it's a good layer underneath the coat. I'm satisfied with what it is, and it's a vibe for when I want to wear a more fitted sweater. But at the same time, it's not like too fitted. It's still like comfortable and warm. The yarn I think is a tiny little bit itchy, but I also feel like I've just gotten used to the itch. It's good. It's wonderful. If you have any questions at all about this sweater, because I know I had so many, you can comment on this video for one, but you can also follow my Instagram, where I will probably more easily be able to respond and see the messages. I am not a professional knitter at all. I just do this for fun and I love doing this. So if you need any help or just want to know anything, please, I would be happy to talk or anything or whatever. Just if I can help. If I can help make it easier, then I would. If there's anything that I could do different, I think maybe I would have knit to the size large, because I had pretty much this much left of the contrast color, and then I had this and another little bit left of the purple, and I had this plus a full other ball of yarn. Anyways, I believe that is it for my video, and I hope you enjoyed watching as much as I enjoyed making this, both the sweater and the video, and perhaps I'll see you next project.